find the Gemara in Daf Beis, Amud Beis, Masechet Brachot. The two dots in the end of the Amud, Omar Mar. We're going back to the third Brisa. The third Brisa. We learned many Brisas yesterday, 3 different Brisas. We're going to the third Brisa. What is the time of reading Krishma, or learning Krishma, the first time? So the Gemara. Just the beginning of the wide lines and the end of the base on base. Omar Mar, Omar li Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda tines to Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says that when is the time? When they go to Toivel. When they go to dip, that is the time to come into Toivel. So the Zman of Kriya Shema, the Gemara says this is the time when you Toivel. Frag the Gemara. Frag the Gemara. Omar Mar. Omar li Rabbi Yehuda. Ve'aloi Kohanim. The Kohanim, when they start, when they do the Tefillah they do when it's still B'Oid Yom. So if the Kohanim come and Toivel B'Oid Yom, so how can you read Krishma B'Oid Yom? We talk about Krishma over here, of Tefillah's Krishma Shel Arvis. How can you Toivel B'Oid Yom? Says the Gemara, Shapik Omar li Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Meir. So it's a very good shaila what Rabbi Yehuda taught Rabbi Meir, because Rabbi Yehuda taught Rabbi Meir that if the Zman Krishma is from Tefillah is B'Oid Yom. Rabbi Meir Omar, what Rabbi Meir is going to answer them? There's a few times of Ben Hashmoshes. There's a Ben Hashmoshes what we call from Tchilas HaShkia, from the beginning of the Shkia till Tzeisek Rechovim. And there's a Shkia, what's called the Shkia of Rabbi Yossi. The Shkia of Rabbi Yossi, we mentioned yesterday, the Gemara in Shabbos, and this is over there, we see the Toys of the Rishonim explaining Shabbos over there, what's the time of the Ben Hashmoshes, we mentioned it a little bit yesterday. So over here what we're saying is, Ben Hashmoshes Didoch Kamine, and no Ben Hashmoshes de Rabbi Yossi Kamine. And what is the time of the Ben Hashmoshes of Rabbi Yossi? The Omar Rabbi Yossi, Ben Hashmoshes Kerefain, a blink of an eye. Ze nichnas, that means ze nichnas, the day goes out and the night comes in. Veze yoytze, and why it says ze nichnas veze yoytze? It should say it all the way around. Night first goes out the day and then it comes out because we can't notice. Maybe that's why it says ze nichnas ze yoytze. Because if we would notice, we would say nochonam veze yoytze veze nichnas. We can't notice because it's a blink of an eye. So ze nichnas ze yoytze. It's Keilu comes in before it went out. Ze nichnas ze yoytze. Ve'efshar lamoid olav. Mimele we can't come to that. Mimele we understand why in Ochaname over here. Rabbi Meir comes and says B'shas Tefillah. So when is it in Ochaname? So Rashi comes and let's see over Rashi. Rashi comes and says over here something very interesting. Rashi is not over here on our Amud Beis. Rashi is in Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. First, let's see the Gemara. So what we can remember that Rashi comes to explain it. So the Gemara Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. Kashye the Rabbi Meir and the Rabbi Meir. Why? Because Rabbi Meir is Soiser himself, it's contradicting himself. Why? Because in the Brisa, the second Brisa, we learn B'Shem Rabbi Meir. What do we learn B'Shem Rabbi Meir? When it's the Zman of Kriya Shema, the second Brisa we learn, the Zman Kriya Shema is B'Shor Shebnei Odom Nichnosim Lechol Es Pitom, right? When Be'erev Shabbos. That's the Zman of Kriya Shema. Now, Be'etzem, when Rabbi Meir comes and says over here, when is the Zman? B'Shor Shebnei Odom Nichnosim Pitom Be'leili Shabbos. That's when is it? After Tzeisek Rechovim. That's after Tzeisek Rechovim. And then, Mitzat Sheni, we see that Rabbi Meir comes and says, later Zman, when is it? That the Zman is Mishor Shakoyanim Toivlim. And then when that's before Ben Hashmoshes. So it's a steer in Rabbi Meir. When is it Levi Rabbi Meir? Before the Ben Hashmoshes, and that's the Zman Shakoyanim Toivlim. Or better, it's after Ben Hashmoshes, when Bnei Yodom Yichnosim Lechol Pitom, Be'avim Shalvosais. Says the Gemara, Trei Tanoe Alibe de Rabbi Meir. This, Nochoname, it's 2 Tanoim, will learn the Brises, and these 2 Tanoim will learn the Brises, they learned that Alibe de Rabbi Meir, and they Nochoname, they disagree what Rabbi Meir said. They Nochoname disagree what Rabbi Meir says. Says the Gemara, the same thing, we can have the Kashya, the Rabbi Lezer, the Ad de Rabbi Lezer. Why? Because we can see the same teretz, but Rabbi Lezer in Nochoname is contradicting himself, because in the Mishnah we find that Lefi Rabbi Lezer, when is the Zman of Kriya Shema? The Zman is in Nochoname, as we said, B'Shor Shakoyanim Nichnosim Lechol B'Trumosam. Right, that's the Am Mishnah, Divrei Rabbi Lezer. And that means, it's Tzeisek Rechovim, as I explained yesterday. What is the Zman Shakoyanim Nichnosim Lechol B'Trumosam? That's the time, what we call Tzeisek Rechovim. And in the Brisa we learn that the Zman is Mishor Shekidesh Hayoim Me'arvi Shabbosais. So we learn it's a different Zman.
You said yesterday, every time it's earlier, you said yesterday?
Earlier, when earlier?
Friday night.
Very good, a good Shaila. You know who has the Shaila? The Mogen Avram. Mogen Avram. The Mogen Avram is Mechiach from over here, that in Ochoname Leil Shabbos you should wait to eat till it's Nacht. You know, no, the Morgan Avram is a shitosai. You shouldn't have an early. We're going to mention the Morgan Avram in Mount Hashem if it comes in and we have time. But you know, Morgan Avram, as I said, is Mechiach from the head that Avi Shabbos is in Nochanam Speter. Avi Shabbos is not before Yoy. No, Avi Shabbos is in Nochanam is a little bit later. Exactly because this the Morgan Avram is Mechiach in the Nawa Gemara. I said the Morgan Avram. So, and for the Gemara, the same teretz, Trei Tanoe, Alibe de Rab Lezer, two Tanoe that learned the Braise differently in Shitas Rab Lezer. Veibo is saying Reishe, that means what we learned at the beginning of the Mishnah, that the Zman of Krishme is Mishosha Karani Chosin, and then we say Divrei Rab Lezer, sorry. So Divrei Rab Lezer is not going on referring on the Reishe. Lav Rab Lezer, so the Gemara, Lav Rab Lezer, he. Just what? Rab Lezer is going only on the second part. What we said, Ad Soifa Shmor Rishono, till when you could read Krishme. From when you could read Krishme, that in Ochonam is Chachomim. From when Mishosh Shakaran Chazen Lecho Bitrumoson. Till when, up to what time you could come and read Krishme is Ad Soifa Shmor Rishono Divrei Rab Lezer. So Rab Lezer is only the last words at Ad Soifa Shmor or Rishono. Says the Gemara. It says Rashi, yeah, right. Kasha de Rameir ad Rameir. Kasha de Rameir ad Rameir. Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. Le'eil Omar, Mishor Shebnei Odom, Nichnosin, Le'echol Pitom Ba'avei Shabbosos. Ve'u Shiur Me'uchor Mishel Kohen. So we see that word. This is Shiur Me'uchor Mishel Kohen. What's Kohen? In Ochonam we understand that this is at night. Ve'ocher Omar, Mishas Tvile, Shehi Koydem El Hashmoshes. Kasha de Rab Lezer. The Braise ad Rab Lezer the Maslisin. He said, "Veibo yisei mereishe the maslisin lav Rab Lezeri ve'od ektane." What we learned, Divrei Rab Lezer in the Mishnah, asoif azman kohe, dekomar asoif o ashmu rishono, uplige rabbonon alei ve'amre ad chatzois. Ve'Rab Lezer dorish. Oh, now Rashi comes and tells us what's the svoros. The svoros is, and we saw when we mentioned it yesterday in the Mishnah. We saw it a little bit Rashi in the Mishnah. What is the svor of Rab Lezer? It says in Ochoname that it's from Ad Soifa Shmur Rishono. Rab Lezer dorish b'shoch becho zman hatchol hashchiva shebnei adam hoilchin nishkav ze koidem v'ze meucha. When people go to sleep in between from when it gets dark, from the Tzeis HaKoichovim, and that he agrees to Chachomim, but people don't go to sleep after Soifa Shmur Rishono. Ve'Rabbono, we're going to see what is the Shmur Rishono. We're going to see in the Gemara about. Ve'Rabbono darshe kol zman shchiva, as long as people sleep. Dainu. Just what? As we saw, a person shouldn't come and say, okay, I have a bit of time and let himself. No, he shouldn't give him extra time, and then he's going to pass in the Krishma. Then he's going to say he's not going to do it. And that's why Ram Gamliel says you can do it till Alois Ashachar. Says the Gemara. We learned in the Mishnah, Ad Soif Ashmu Rishoina, and that is lefi what we learned. Divrei Rab Lezer. This is the word of Rab Lezer that Rab Lezer says. Till what time is? And Rashi now explained, because Rashi explained now that Rab Lezer understands that when we go to sleep, that is a time that you can say Krishma, and people go to sleep up to Soif Ashmu or Rishoina. Says the Gemara, "My Kosovar Rab Lezer." What is the svor of Rab Lezer? Ikosovar sholish mishmoris ave alayla. So Rashi explained that this goes according to a machloikes, what we're going to see in Amud Beis. In Amud Beis, there's a machloikes tanoim, if the arba mishmoris ave halayla or sholish mishmoris ave alayla. How many mishmoris? So mishmoris is like, we look at the different units, the night. Every night is divided. L'maylaf gemina, we're going to see. What is the night? We're sleeping anyway. What's the difference? How we divide the night? Elomai says the Gemara. There is different afkimis as we're going to see, but there's a machloikes 4 or 3. Says the Gemara Azoi. Ikosova. What is exactly the svara of Rab Lezer? Ikosova sholosh mishmora savalayla. That the layla is divided into 3, and each chelik and chelik is how long? 4 hours. Now, pashtas, when we say 4 hours, we mean shois zmaniyos. Right? When we say shois, we mean shois zmaniyos. There's a very interesting lashon in the Mishnayos, the Pirush HaMishnayos LaRambam. The Pirush HaMishnayos LaRambam, he says, Veda. He says you should know a klal. Kol HaShoes, that's what he says over there. The Kol HaShoes HaNizkor is Bechol HaMishneh Hein HaShois HaZmaniyos. That's what the Lashon Rambam is. Over here by us, in Pirush HaMishnas the Rambam, he comes and says, Veda, Shekol HaShois, all hours, what we come and mention in the Mishnah, are Shois Zmaniyos. What is Shois Zmaniyos? It depends. Leilei Teves or Leilei Tammuz. It means that the short nights of Tammuz, it's going to be, every hour is going to be less than 60 minutes. And the long nights of Teves, so it's going to be what we call January or February or whatever it is, it's going to be much longer. What we look at, Be'etzem 12-12 is always Nisan and Tishrei. Then the Halaylo ve'ayoim nechlokim, we call it. That means it's the same, right, with 12 hours. That's the way the Rambam understands shows Zmaniyos. But what we have 60 minutes per hour, Yochanan comes from much later. The Babylonians, what they came and they, 60 is what we call Mispar Shalem, and that's why they divided into 60. Okay, as we spoke many times, the Tumim, Pashas, that's a little bit different. That in Yochanan, the Urim Tumim, Yonas Leibshitz in the Sefer, he speaks about the times of 60. Maybe we can speak about it more when we come to Tfilas HaShachar. The Shois Zmaniyos, what depends in Yochanan and Tfilah, depends more, the Shois Zmaniyos. Krishma, we have to see in Yochanan if it depends Shois Zmaniyos. But that's the Lashon Rambam. The Lashon Rambam, all times that we talk in the Mishnah, is Shois Zmaniyos. This is not so clear because the Mogen Avraham brings the Zohar. The Mogen Avraham brings the Zohar, that the Zohar says that we always look at it is in Yochanan 12 hours. 12 hours, and after 6 hours is Chatzois. After 6 hours is Chatzois. So when we say over here, and the Pri Megadim is Siman Aleph, the Megadim Siman Aleph brings four different ways to explain the Gemara over here when we talk about Shois. But we're going to follow now the Shitas Rambam. Maybe we're going to mention, because it gets a little bit more complicated to kind of explain the Shakla V'Tayil for each sheet of the Pri Megadim. But Shitas Rambam, Shois Zmaniyos, let's follow the Shita that in Yochanan is also is Mashman from Rashi. We're talking about Shois Zmaniyos. Shois Zmaniyos depends on, we take the night, if the night is very long, like let's say the night's now, so in Yochanan, let's say the night is from 5 o'clock in the even 4 o'clock in the evening till 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes at the night, so in Yochanan is going to come out that every hour is going to be like 75 minutes. So in Yochanan it's more what we call the minutes, that's going to be called an hour. So, Zog the Gemara. We should know there is a shita of, we always look at it, Yud Beis Shois Shavos. That's what the Mogen Avraham brings B'Shem the Zohar. Says the Gemara. So Ikos of Shalosh Mishmor Avalaylo or Arba Mishmos. Veikos, so be'etzem Leime, if we say Shalosh Mishmor Avalaylo, well, let's divide 12 into 3. Ad Arba Shois, it's 4 hours. Veikos Ovar, and if he tells me that Arba Mishmor Avalaylo, and every Mishmer of is 3 Shalosh Shois Zmaniyos, right? So Leime at Shalosh Shois. Why he has to say Ad Shoif Asmo Yishoino? Says the Gemara Lo Ilo Kosovar Sholosh Mishmores Save Alaylo. Be'etzem it's only 3 Mishmores. Ve'okom Mashmalon. When he came and he told us over Ad Shoif Ashmuro, he wanted to come and give us another chidush. Not only a simon for the hours, because the hours in Yochanan we know, but he wanted to give us a chidush. The Ike Mishmores Borokia. As we said yesterday, there's kitois of Malochim that in Yochanan they change, and they say over there the shir. Every day they have the song, what they say, the Kiddush HaMalachim, and each one in Yochanan says, and each Mishmorah, they say the Malach HaShoros LeYoshir. Ve'ike Mishmorah is Be'are, and also there is a hecker for a person in over here, in our world, in Yochanan, to know when is the times when this is Mischalef. What's enough Kamina? We're going to see in Yochanan, but it's mashma over here in the Gemara, and that's what's mashma in Rashi, because if it's Rashi, we look at Rashi, let's see Rashi, look at Rashi, Mai Kosova, Havelel, Loimar Zman Hanika. Ikosova the pliget anoy lekamon. As this said normal base. Be'o milse ike man de'omar gimel mishmoris ave alaylo. Be'mishmoris avoidas hamalochim. What happens in mishmoris? The malochim say shir. Shalom nechlach l'sholosh chalokim. Rishoino lekas achas. Shnio lekas acheres. Shlishis lekas shlishis. Ve'ike man de'omar arba mishmoris ave alaylo. Ve'oko mashma lo. What's the chidush? Kshenosan lecho simen. When we have a simen zman hakriye. Where over here, בסויב השמור, אבל לא יפירש לך סימן מפורש ללמדך, שיש עקר לכל אדם בדבר, כי איכה דאיקה ברקיע. So it's mashma that in the Rekia, we always knew that there is mishmoris. Right? We always knew there's mishmoris. You should know, the chiddush is that also over here we have a heker of the mishmoris. The Ritva learns the other way around. The Ritva says no. I know that in the Rakia there's Mishmoris. I know over here that there's Mishmoris, as we can see the Gemara brings the Simonim. So that I know. It's noticeable. But how could I know that in the Rakia? Fakir, because I know, and it's noticed that over here, Be'are, in our world, there is certain 3 different times in the night. So also you should know, Lemalo, it's Goyse Zach noch Lemalo at the same time. That's what the Rito says. And the Sabur Rishonim don't know. We should know that there's also Lemalo and also Lemalo. The whole thing is a Chiddush. You should know that there's 3 different times. Says the Gemara. The Tanya. Where do we know that there is Shalosh Mishmoros Havalayla? The Tanya. Ablezer Roimer. Shalosh Mishmoros Ave Halayla. ועל כל משמר ומשמר יושב הקדוש ברוך הוא ושואג כארי. HaKadosh Baruch Hu what means shoyeg ka'ari, that even that all the malachim are singing at that time. That's what the Sifsei Chachamim explains. Even that all the malachim are singing at that time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and roars like a lion. That means stronger than all of the singing of the malachim. That means it doesn't mean we're gash in the Rebbeinu Shloilom. It's only for us. But Tzelem Elokim Avos Adam, some Mefarshim explained that we have the reshus, that is part of the thing, that we have reshus to look at the HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a tzelem, as a thing. When we come to talk, we can come and be megashim, right? Charoin af. Even there's no charoin af by the Rebbeinu Shloilom, right? There's no Eloi guf, ve'eloi tmusa guf. But we have a reshus to come and to look at it as Nochonam, that's betzelem Elokim Avos Adam. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and is stronger than all of the Shiras HaMalachim, but he comes and he is Kavyochel moaning or crying about the Churban Abayis, as we're going to see. Says the Gemara. So Al Kol Mishmar Yishmar Yoshua HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'shoy ka'ari on the Churban Abayis, on the Golus of Klal Yisrael, in Nochonam, and these Sholosh She'ogois, there's a Sefer HaEshkol, and he says in Nochonam, what's these 3 roles, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, Kavyochel, the She'ogois, what we said over here, because we can see it says 3 times in the pasuk. It says Shoig Ishag Hashem Itein Koiloi. It's 3 different shogos. So he says this is connected the Mishnah in Human. The Mishnah in Human says Besholoish Regolim Termim Es HaMizbeach. The Trumas Hadeshen that begin the day with the Trumas Hadeshen. They come to remove the ash from the Mizbeach, and this removing the ash from the Mizbeach was 3 different times. Every day it was Mikois HaGever in Ochaname from. When? The earliest thing in the morning, they go to do Tumas HaDeshen. Yom Kippur was a little bit earlier, and then the Regolin, that it was even more than that, in Ochaname was on the Shmoira. He says that's connected the Shalosh HaShmoira, the Shalosh She'agos, what Kadosh Baruch Hu comes and does, is connected the 3 times of when we started the Avodah. So Yimele, in Ochaname remembers, now they started the Avodah, and now there's no Avodah. And that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kavyochel is crying on the Golus Yisrael. Shenema, Hashem mimorin ishag mimorin kodshoy itein koiloi shoig ishag al noveyu. So be'etzem, how many times it says about ishag in the pasuk? So Rashi says harei gimel, right? Ishag shoig ishag. Sorry, yeah, because you're right. Because the Ritva says shoig ishag is 1, so he says koiloi is another 1. If you look at the pasuk shoig ishag is also, it's 1 shog. Pashtus is mashma. So that's like the Ritva learns a little bit different.
Yeah, but aren't we looking at the words?
That's what Rashi says. Rashi says we're looking at the words, and the words is 3 times the lashon of sheoga. So the similar dovo that in Ochoname, when do we know in Ochoname when is this mishmoris? Mishmeres rishono chamor noyer, when a donkey is neighing, I think they call it braying. Shnia klovim tzoyakim. Shalishis Tinok Yoine Mishdei Imoy. In Ochaname, then is Tinok Yoine Mishdei Imoy, what's the pshat? That then he's hungry, and then he starts to eat with the Benayo, frekt, Benayo Ben Yoyoda, Yosef Chaim, frekt, Amir di Keshaile. If anyone remembers, or anyone has a young child, so you don't sleep through the night. Right? Not once, and not twice, and not 3 times. He's crying and he wants to eat every few hours. There was a Tinok Yoining Mishdei, he wants to nurse only in the last Mishma. The whole night he wants to think. So the Benayo learns that in Ochoname the pshat is Tinok Yoining Mishdei Ve'isho Mesaper Zibalo. Till that time in Ochoname the mother wakes up, or the father wakes up. There's nothing you can help, but the father wakes up sometimes. The mother wakes up, and in Ochoname, what happens? She goes back to sleep. But the last time, this is the day imoy umesaperes in balo hilan. So Tinochanami says also because of that. Also later on it says mesaperes in balo v'tino yenig mishdei imoy. We're changing it. Why? Because Tinochanami maybe mesaperes in balo. She tells the husband, you get up. Why mesaperes? You should be asleep. No, you should be asleep. So Isha mesaperes in balo v'tino yenig mishdei imoy says the Benayo in Tinochanami it's one shir. It's one. That is the shir that Tinochanami wakes up after that. Ve'isha mesaperes in balo, and that's where the earlier in the morning, but it's later in the night when people already start to get up in Ochaname. The Raman mesaperes means meshameshes, right? As you know, the pasuk v'hoyo mesaper imi, in Lashon Tashmish. Says the pasuk. Some say mesaperes is a famous Reb Tzaddik HaKohen, Tzidkas HaTzadik. He said that mesaperes means that when people start to daven. That's the Lashon Sipur. Sipur is they start to daven. So the Gemara. Huh? In Balo. That's Knesset Yisrael with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. They explain it a little bit different. There's also a name Elimelech about it in Parshas Vayeshev. Echet sagt of the selbe Zach. That you know Knesset Yisrael with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. There's also a Goyen about it. Echet on the selbe Gedank. Okay, Zog the Gemara. Michael Choshiv Rablezer. And this Simonim what he gave us to identify the 3 times what exactly we learned. It Chilas Mishmoros Kachoshiv. What is it? The beginning? Or in Ochaname at the beginning of the Mishmoros? Or Ibazoi Chilas Mishmoros Rishon Simon Alamoli. I know. When is the first Mishmora? When it says Sakoi Chovim, that is the first Mishmor. Why do I need a simon? That Chamoy Noyer. And Soif Mishmoros Kachoshiv. If he tells you no, you should know when is the end of the Mishmoros. Soif Mishmor Achorin Alamoli. Because I know then is what? Then is Yemamel. Then is Nachoname, the time of early in the morning. And for the Gemara Lo Choshiv Soif Mishmor Rishono. Utchilas Mishmor Achroino ve'emtzois de'emtzoiso. That means Chamoy Noyer is a siman for what? The end of the Mishmor Rishono. Tino Yoinig Mishdei Imoy is the siman of what? Of the sign of Tchilas Mishmor Achroino. And Klovitzakim is the middle of the night, and that's in Ochonamid at the times of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Shoyeg Ka'ari. Why we have to know these times? So in the Rishonim was what he brought down, and the Rishonim Nisim Goyen is brought down in the Rishonim that the Rashba brings b'shem Rav Hai Goyen. Some say it is because of Reb Nisim Goyen, but Rav Hai Goyen Zoktas Mefures that we have to know why, because he says sheyesh al Yisrael lehapil tachanunim balaylo sheneemar kumi roini balaylo leroish hashmuchis. So he says that's the time of tefillah. That's the time of tefillah. That's the time of tchina. Sheneemar kumi roini balaylo leroish hashmoiros. So that in Nochonam the Hashmoyos is important to know when is the Hashmoyos. We should know when in Nochonam is the tefillah, when is the Eis Rotzon in Nochonam to get up, the Rosh Hashmoyos to come to daven. So that's a big enough gemina. Okay. And the Rosh over here also writes him says Losh in the Roy Lechol Yirei Shomayim, the Losh of the Rosh Roy Lechol Yirei Shomayim to get up in the night, and this times in Nochonam to start to daven, and that's like the so the Gemara, Veiboy Seime, Kulu Soif Mishmoros Kachoshiv. In Ochoname, we come and say over here that what all of the end, all of the simony what we gave in Ochoname is the end of the Mishmoros. In Ochoname, what we have to come and to know it. Chiteime. So Achroino Loitzori. We don't need the last one. We don't need it, right? In Ochoname, sorry, it's daylight. It's daylight. Yeah, it's daylight. So we don't need it. In Ochoname, in the Meforshim, we find lots of different mehalchim. If we pass like the first Iboy Seima or the second Iboy Seima. The Marshal when the Shulchan Aruch Mamish in the beginning in Siman Aleph Seif Beis, he says Hamashkim, when a person gets up, they should wake up in the end of the night to come into daven. So we see he passing like the second Iboy Seima. The Rashba says passing like the first Iboy Seima. We have different Tinochoname in the Meforshim itself. We have different opinions. If it's passing like the first Iboy Seima or the second Iboy Seima. Nafkemin, as we said, when to get up to daven. The person needs a Yeshua. He knows that this is a Eis Rotzain. Tinochoname to know when to get up to daven. If it's Tinochoname in the Soif Hashmora, the beginning of Hashmora. The Shulchan Aruch Mamish in the beginning in Siman Aleph. In Seif Beis, he says when a person gets up, he should get up. He should be mashkim at the end of the night and the end of the Hashmor Achroino, because that's a Eis Rotzen. That's a Eis Rotzen. Okay, Zog the Gemara. Let's see it noch einmal. All the simoni what we gave in Nochoname is the Siyum Hashmor. The Siyum Hashmor. You have the Siyum Hashmor. So why the last one? Why do I need over there? simen. Achroino loy tzorich. Lemay nafkemine. Says the Gemara, v'chi teime achroino loy tzorich. We don't need a simen. Lemay nafkemine. What's the thing? Says the Gemara, lemikre kriyashma leman degonim b'isofel. He's sleeping in a dark house without any windows. V'lo yoda, he doesn't know Zman kriyashma. He doesn't know when is the Zman kriyashma shel shachris. A mass, when is it? And Kevan, the Isham, Saper Simbal, he's going to know that this is a simon that finished the night, and now came the time of Krishme Shel Shachris, Leikum Velikre. So maybe the what we learned in the Agoda, that they were sitting over there, they, right? Amul Talmidov, Vigias Man Shachris, they were sitting in a Bais Ofel. Maybe. No, they were sitting in a.
They were hidden.
They were hidden. They were hidden in Beneva, yeah. They were hidden. Because it was a Shasak Zeira. Shasak Zeira, yeah. So you have to know. Says the Gemara. Okay, so Leikum Velika Kriyashma, Nochanamet, they should come and read, in that time is Nochanamet to come and read Kriyashma. Dr. Rashi, ואיש המספר סימבלו, כבר הגיע הקורב ליום, ובני יודו מסוירים משתנוסון, והשריכים יחד מספרים זה עם זה. מה כוחושיב? סימונים הלולו שנוסון ומשמורו יש האורץ. איך הנוסנו? So he said, בתחילה עשה השמורו יש אוי בסויפון. Orto Tzeisa Koichovim, Mele, we don't need a simon because we know in Nochanami what is a simon. So I think more. Omar Rabbi Tzog Bar Shmuel Mishmei Derav. Sholosh Mishmoros Ave Alaylo. ועל כל משמור ומשמור יושב הקדוש ברוך הוא ושויה כארי, he was like a lion, ואומר, אוי לבונים, שבאבניסיהם, החרבתי אס בייסי, וסורבתי אס איכולי. In Nochanami, we look over here, and the base, what it says, החרבתי, and sorafti es eicholi. So the Gaon explains why, because the bais is talking about the choymois harabais. And what is a churban? A churban, he says, is something that is semi-broken. There's still a little bit left. It's a churban, right? A churban, what is a churban? We're going to see the maisa now in the Gemara. A churban is, it still remains, a little bit remains. So he says that's why the echravti is basically is talking about the choymois harabais. The choymois harabais still remained. What remained? The koisel amarovi, lo izad shchina ma'olam. Minochaname Eicholi is the Beis Hamikdash, and that is Sorafti es Eicholi. That's why he says Echeravti es Beisi, and Sorafti es Eicholi. So Akadosh Baruch Hu Minochaname says Kol Mishmor, he says Sorafti es Eicholi. Vehigleisim lebeina umois Tanya. The Akadosh Baruch Hu Minochaname says this 3 times a day, and he's crying 3 times a day on the Churban Beis Hamikdash. Where do we see it? Omar Rabbi Yosi. Pa'am achas oisi me'alech baderech, v'nichnasti. He went into one of the thing, and the Yankov has a very interesting girsa. He says leispalel mincha. Mincha. If you want to know which the tefillah he davened, so the Yankov has a girsa over here. He says leispalel was leispalel mincha. He davened mincha. And why? Because he says, what was the pshat in mincha?
It's logic.
Why?
Shacharis, he wouldn't have gone for a walk first.
Oh.
And Marav is too dark, so where he's going.
Oh, so he says that the Nochanami Mincha he didn't have time, so he was scared that the Nochanami David Dochim. That's why I saw once B'Shem the Baal Leib Shteiman. Baal Leib Shteiman explains Nochanami. He says it must be Mincha because in Ma'ariv he still has time.
Right.
So why the Mincha it came is about the Shkia, and he has to walk in because the Nochanami is scared that you have Siku Oivrei Drochim, right? Oivrei Drochim are going to disturb him. Well, good, they're good. Here, Boel Yoh Zochu Latoiv V'Shomar. So Rashi says what means V'Shomar? Like ואוביב שומר הסדובר. המתין כמו לא יאמר אודנו לחבר ישמור לי בצד על גב פלויני. ובכמה, פרק החויבל, שומרו עומדס על פתח חצרו. Right? The shmira means waiting. Someone is waiting on the thing. וכן ואוביב שומר הסדובר. Shomer emunim. Right? Yovel is talking about the Mashiach. He's going to be shomer emunim. He's waiting to come and to give us the, we have the emunah, to come and be goylos. So the same thing over here is in Nochaname Shomar. Shomar. Some say Shomar. What means Shomar? Or Shmira. Why? Because he wanted the Chulva. So he needs a Shmira. No, he needs a Shmira. So in Nochaname Shomar is a Pesach. In Nochaname Shomar. Says the Gemara. Shomar li HaPesach על הפסח עד שסיימתי תפילוסי. לאחר שסיימתי תפילוסי. In Nochaname after he finished the tefillah. So in Nochaname, Omar li, so Leo Anovi told them, Shom lo alecho, Rabbi. V'omarti loi, I told them, Shom lo alecho, Rabbi u'moiri. In Nochaname, so in Nochaname, we see over here, that if it was Rabbi, and that's what he tells them, Shom lo alecho, Rabbi u'moiri. and over here I think they ask, because Toysa says over Kame that when a person comes and says back to his Rebbe Shalom, he has to say only Shalom Alecho Rabbi. Shalom Alecho Rabbi, right? So why told him Shalom Alecho Rabbi or Moiri? He tell him only Shalom Alecho Rabbi. He tells him over here what he answers him. He tells him Shalom Alecho Rabbi. Why? Eliyahu Novi was a Talmid of him. So why he tells him Rabbi?
He's learning with him.
He's called his Rebbe.
It's like a Rebbe. If you're learning with somebody, it's like.
He wasn't learning there, he was waiting for him.
I think that's what the Rambam says. And Nichosh Talmud Torah, he disagrees on the what?
You don't want
Even though, yeah, but the Rambam says in Nichosh Talmud Torah that if the Rebbe tells him Shalom Alecho Rabbi, he should answer him Shalom Alecho Rabbi Yomoiri. Then Wikipedia says that the Mekor is from our sugya. And we see Nochaname because Tosh disagrees in Ayin Gimel, I think, in Bobby Kama. And Nochaname is a raya that if a Rebbe tells him Shalom Alecho Rabbi, so he should answer him Shalom Alecho Rabbi Yomoiri. Because it could be he had to add something. So he told him Shalom Alecho Rabbi. So he tell him Shalom Alecho Rabbi Yomoiri. So I think Gemara. Okay. Ve'omar li, Eliyahu Novi tells him, Bni, mipnei ma nichnas al-chuva zu. Why went into the chuva? Amarti lo, what do you mean? Le'ispalel. I went into daven. Ve'omar li, oy lecho le'ispalel baderech, and not in the chuva. Why? Because it's a sakone. And in Nechoname, even though that you don't avoid it, Amarti lo, misiyaro, yishem yofsiku b'yoy v'idrochim. And that's why I didn't daven baderech. Ve'omar li, no. Anyway, you should have davened baderech. Why? Oy lecho le'ispalel tefilo k'tzoro. What's tefilo k'tzoro? Havineinu. That's what Rashi understands. Rashi says over here, Havineinu, lekamon farash lo beperek tfilas hashachar. And that's the fourth perek we're going to learn. In Ochoname, that this is tfilas hashachar. Toysa says in Ochoname that someone who davens tfilo k'tzoro, so it says over there in the Gemara that Abaya have a light. Abaya would curse someone who davens tfilo k'tzoro. Says Rashi, that's only if someone davens inside the city of tefillah k'tzoro. Over here was basode. In basode in Ochoname, you should daven the tefillah k'tzoro. Says the Gemara. It says Rabbi Yossi over there. Be'oiso sho lamadeti mimenu. I learned from him. In Ochoname, all kinds of halachas. The shaila is, how can you learn halachas? Lichoire is Eliyahu is a Novi and Loi Bashomayim he. So what? You still can't listen to halachas from him. So you still can't learn halachas from him. So the Maritzchais comes to the Chiddush. The Maritzchais says that in Ochoname, even though that Eliyahu Novi is a Novi, V'loi Bashomayim, he says over here you could learn from him. Why? Because he came and he gave a ta'am v'svore. He says when he gives a reason in Ochoname and a svore. So in Ochoname, you could say, okay, I pass like that. He gave me the idea. But in Ochoname, I don't have to come to Loi Bashomayim. That's what he says. Okay. So what he tells him, three different things he learns. Shloisha dvorim. Lomati she'ein nichnosin lechuva. There's not only ein nichnosin. There's an isur to go into a chuva. Velomati she'ispali baderech. Rabbi Yossi understand that you don't daven baderech. As we said in Ochoname, you don't daven stam, that people should disturb you. And he says, yeah. Velomati she'ispali baderech. Mispalel tfilo k'tzoro. Now comes Eliyahu Novi and asks Rabbi Yossi, what did exactly happen over there in the chuva? V'omar li, Bni, ma kol shomata b'chuva zu? What did you hear in this chuva? V'omarti loi, I heard over there a baskoil. And a baskoil in Ochoname is like a echo. What is a baskoil? In Ochoname, that's the Toysis and Sanhedrin. Toysis and Sanhedrin, Daf Yudalef or Medalef. Toysis says, what is a baskoil? Toysis says a baskoil is an echo. Koil hayoytze mitoich hakoil. That is a baskoil. Bas koil. The daughter of a koil. That means it's an echo, a voice that comes out from a voice. That is a bas koil. Yeah. And a bas koil, some say a bas is a lotion of a midah, a measurement. That means it's a bas koil. Not everyone hears this voice. Some people do hear the voice. Some people don't hear this voice. And that's why it's called a bas koil. That means it comes by midah. Midah, we know one of the midahs is called the midah's bas. It's one of the measurements. It's called the bas. He says this is a bas. Not everyone hears the voice. Some people hear the voice, some people don't hear the voice. That's what it's called the baskoil. What do you hear? Shemenahemes kayoino. What's in Ochoname menahemes kayoino? Like a bird. And I want to pshat in Ochoname. What means menahemes kayoino? What is kayoino? In Eretz Yisrael, I remember when I was young, you go Friday, you go Shabbos morning, you go to shul, suddenly you hear the birds, uhu, uhu. right? Well, the whole week they don't do it, only Shabbos morning. Well, the whole week they do it. Just what? Friday, Shabbos morning, it's quiet. There's no cars. There's no nothing thing. You wake up early in the morning, you go to daven, and you hear the menahemes gayoino. You hear the same thing says the Marshal. Every day this happens. Because every day, just what? You have to tune yourself in to listen to it. You have to tune yourself in to listen to it. That's menahemes gayoino. Nicht noch ein Name like menahemes gayoino voimeres. Oy levonim shebavisem khravti es beisi vesoravti es kholi veigleisi lebein umois veomar li chayecho vechay roisho lo yishuzo bilvad oimeres kach elo bechol yoim veyoim sholosh parim oimeres kach nochoname, and that's the gimel mishmoros. This is the gimel mishmoros what we learned before, and that this is sholosh parim oimeres kach velo yizu bilvad. Just what? When b'shosh yisrael nichnas lebotei knesiyos lebotei midrashos veoinim yehei shemei Hagodoil or Shemoy Hagodoil Mevoirach. You know, that what means Yehi Shmei Hagodoil Mevoirach. So there is a famous Toises. Toises is very famous because we have to know that that's Pshat. What is Pshat Yehi Shmei Mevoirach? So Toises comes and understands B'Shem the Machzor Vitri. Machzor Vitri is Talmid of Rashi. The Machzor Vitri comes and says that what means Yehi Shmei Hagodoil Mevoirach. He says Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevoirach. He says Onu Mispalelim Sheyemalei Shmoi. We davening HaKadosh Baruch Hu should come and fill up His name. What means? Ki Yod, it says again in the end of Parshas Beshalach. Ki Yod al Kei Sko. Shelo Yehei Shemoi Sholem Vekise Sholem Ad Sheimoch Ezaru Shel HaMolek. Right? We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, it says over there, Ki Yod al Kei Sko. So Keis is missing from the Kisei, is missing a Aleph. Ko is Yud Kei Vav Kei. We have only the Yud Kei, right? Ko is only a Yud and a Hey. It's missing another Vav and another Hey. So it's missing Eina Kisei Sholem, Veina Shem Sholem, Ad Sheimoch Ezaru Shel HaMolek. Then it's going to come to Yeshua. So the Marshal says in the end of Soita, Moirdik Avot, he says, that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What is HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Is Eva leMoishav Loi. What's the Moishav Loi? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is waiting for the thing. What's Eva? Which letters are Eva? Aleph, Vav, Hey. The Aleph of the Kisei, Eina Kei Sholem, because we're missing the Aleph, and the Vav Kei of the Yud Kei. So that's Eva leMoishav Loi. Yeah.
If was a chirik, is a yud.
There's no yud. Eva is only Aleph of Hey. Eva leMoishav Loi. And that's Eva leMoishav Loi. In Ochonam HaKadosh Baruch Hu is waiting for these three letters, the Aleph of Hey. Eva leMoishav Loi. So anyway, let's go back to the Toises of a very important Toises. Toises says, what's the Pshat Yehi Shmei Rabo? So Onu Mispalim al Shmoi Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shenishba She'eno Yisholem in Ochon Ad She'imoch HaMolek. And then it's going to be Yehi Shmei Rabo. What's the Rabo? The Shem Yud K will be Misrabe, will be expanded into the Vav K. And that's what we're davening when you say Omein, Yehei should be Shemei, the name of God. Well, Rabo should be expanded. We're davening on the Geula Asida. When the Nochonam is going to be the Geula Asida, yes, Yehei Shmei, that means should be Godoil V'Sholem. That's the notion of Toises. It should be Godoil V'Sholem. And that's what he says, Mevorach le'olam le'ol me'ol maya. It's a different tefillah already. That word. Mevorach means le'olam habo. Inochoname le'olam le'ol me'ol maya. It's a different world. But that's what Toises brings to the Machzor Vitri. Ober Toises learns that the Lashon of Yehi Shmei Hagodel Mevorach, Inochoname, the whole thing is one tefillah. That what? That Inochoname, that the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be Mevorach. Like the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be Mevorach. That's the two pshatim over here. What is the pshat? Yeah. And that's why, the Nefesh HaChaim explains according to this Toises why the Tfilas Kaddish is said in Aramaic. So the Gemara says because the people say, because the Malachim shouldn't understand it. Yeah, that's what the people say. They say the Tfilah over here, what we say in Ochoname, but Loshen Targum, the Toises says it, Sheloi Yovinu HaMalachim Ve'yu Miskarim. That's it over here, Toises Bones. Towards the end of Toises says, in Ochoname, it brings in Toises, that oilam oimrim in ochoname ma sheoimrim oilam lekach oimrim kadish beloshon aramis lefi shetfila noe v'shvach godolu al kein nitkan beloshon targum shelo yovinu hamalochim ve'yu miskanim bonu v'ze eino inire. Why not? Says Toises, no, this is not a pshat. Says Toises, this is not true. Shari tfilos yofo yishem beloshon ivri. There's lots of different tefillahs that are beautiful tefillahs, and Malachim also can come and be jealous of us. And we see that this is Belashon Ivri. Elo nire kedamir seif soita eno elo miskain elo asir de kedushate vehi shemei rabo de bosar agadete. Yinochaname Tosha says that not the reason. Yinochaname, the reason is that the Malachim Yinochaname come and say that Yinochaname we say, for example, we know also that Ashrei, yeah. Yinochaname when we say Ashrei, Yinochaname Hakadosh Baruch Hu remembers the Ashrei Yeshu Yisecha. What's Ashrei Yeshu Yisecha? Yisecha is Hakadosh Baruch Hu remembers Yinochaname the Golus Hashchina. Okay, Beseder. This is lots what to be married over in the Tosfos. Okay, let's continue. Zog die Gemara weiter. And what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu? HaKadosh Baruch Hu mena'anea roishoi v'oimer ashrei hamelech shemekaltzin oisoi bebeisoi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says kavyochon on himself that the mekalis in bebeisoi when they say omen yishmei rabo. And maloi le'av, he says like maloi is meloshin oiloi le'av. Like oiloi le'av, that's what, that sheiglo hezbono v'oiloi lebonim shegolu me'al shulchan aviyem. I heard just a moirdik vote from in Divrei Agoda. Divrei Agoda, the sefer what Rav Eliashiv used to say in his shul. Used to say he was not a baldarshan, but he used to say a voltim. And this voltim is from Alte Magidim. From his father was a Rav in Tiferes Bachorim, and he has a very 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 nice vote over him in this Gemara. He says. What HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Ashrei HaMelech shemekaltzin bo Yisrael, maloi le'av sheiglo es bono, ve'oiloim leboni shegolu man shel. So he comes and says, oiloim le'av, right? Oiloim le'av, coming dependent on himself. Mashal says, what's le'av? Because in Yinochaname when there is when there is a Beis Hamikdash, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a melech, now he's only av. But beforehand, what it says over there? He depends on the people. So it says says Amal Yashiv, he brings over there a vote, it says like this. When is Oilo Lebonim and when is Oilo Le'av? When it's Bavini Yisei Mechavti is Beisi, and when he depends on himself, he says depends. If he comes into a shul and he sees his kechulva, looks like a chulva, so then he says Bavini Yisei Mechavti is Beisi. But when he comes in to Besmadash and he sees they saying Omer Yeshmei Rabbo, so he says Oiloi Le'av. What's the pshat? What's the mashmos? He says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and maybe there's a pshat. The Maharal says that what is the tikkun? We have a Churban Beis Hamikdash. How we attack in the Churban Beis Hamikdash? By showing HaKadosh Baruch Hu we know how to behave. We have one thing today. We have a Beis Hamikdash me'at. Right? For example, we said once a Moshe Lamar Dovel Doime. We spoke once Tisha B'Av. Moshe Lamar Dovel Doime. A person, his son comes home. 17 years old, he got his driving license. Daddy, I would like the car keys. Daddy gives him the car keys, and then he hears that he's dangerous for himself and for the whole neighborhood. He's driving very dangerous, so the father tells him, give me back the car keys. He promises the next time he's going to drive better. The father gives him, and the second chance also he fails. The third time he comes, Father, I'm going to say the whole Tehillim. Very nice. I'm going to learn the whole brachos. Very nice, but to drive. What he has to show the father, that he knows how to drive, first on a bike. He knows how to drive responsible, and then the father might consider again to give him the car again. Same thing when we have the Churban, we could do a lot of good things, but we have to counter prove that on a Mikdash Me'at we know how to behave, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give us back. And that's why when we know how to behave in a Mikdash, it's not a Churban. A Churban is not only a Churban as physical Churban. We're talking about the Churban also in the spiritual idea of a Churban. We know how to behave in a Beis HaMedrash, to respect each other. So then HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, this is Oiloi Le'av. But when they behave in like in a Churban, then it's Ba'avoy Neseim, Echavti is basically Echavti is Nishkot. I think it's a very nice vote. As I forgot in Divrei Agoda from Rav Eliashiv. I added a little bit. Yeah. Zog the Gemara weiter. Let's see the Gemara. Tolu Rabbono. Mipnei shloisha devarim. A person shouldn't go into Mipnei shloisha devarim. Ein nichnasi lechurve. Mipnei hachashad. That in Ochoname they shouldn't think that there is over there zoino muchenes lo, as Rashi says. Mipnei hamapoiles, there's a sakona in Ochoname because it might come and collapse. And mipnei hamazikim, because of Ochoname the demons, that's the place where they're living. Mipnei hachashad, why they need it? V'teibuklei mishum mapoiles. Why we need in Ochoname to come and tell us there's a chashad? Tell us only in Ochoname why we said 3 timing, right? To one thing. That's what Rashi says. Let's look at Rashi, the last Rashi. Kloimar, lomo. Why we came and said lonu gimel timing ledovar echod? לכאורה, הרי די באחס מן, אם לא יבוא ללמד חו שיש שויס, שאין הטעם הזה, וצריך להניח בשביל זה. Says Rashi, בעצם, what we need over here all three times, tell us מפני המפוילס, המפוילס is always there, right? Maybe mazikin, they're not always there, you know, they go out for breaks, but in Ochaname, the mapoiles is always there. Says the Gemara in Ochaname. The comment answer be chadete. In Ochaname like a chuve, that what? That we have over there only one of the reasons. For example, what means bechadete? So Rashi says shenoflo mechodosh. She'achoyma shelo noflo v'oidenu b'cheskoso. So it's very strong. So mapoiles is not. It's not there mapoiles, but it's empty. No one's living there. So over there's one reason in Ochaname that what? There's no chashash in mapoiles, but the Easter is to go in because the chashad that people are going to stalk that he is with the zoyno. That the mazikim is also in a new churve, in an empty space. The mazikim come over there and they're going to live. Says the Gemara, also over there, we need over there mishum mazikin. Says the Gemara, betray. That means when two people go in together, so then there's no chashash from there's no chashash from mazikim. It only stays the chashash of chashad. Says the Gemara, betray chashad nameleke, because a yichud with a woman is Nochaname allowed for two people together. Okay, we're not going to go into the sugya now. It's a big sugya if it's allowed or not allowed, but that's as much over in the Gemara. Says the Gemara, betray upritze. These two people that they don't care about, they're prutzim, they're not exactly big yeri shomayim, and that's why we are choished also on these two. Says the Gemara, mipnei amapoiles. Why do we need this reason? V'teibu klei, we should say mishum chashad and v'mazikim. Says the Gemara, no, mapoiles we still need when betray v'kasha. That means when two people, and they are kosher people, that they go into a churve, because they are two, so there's no chashash of mazikim. And because they're kosher people, so there's no chashad of zoyno. And that's why we need the reason of mipnei hamapoiles. Mipnei mazikim, says the Gemara, v'teibu klei mipnei chashad and ve'hamapoiles. Why do we know it also mipnei mazikim? Says the Gemara, bechurve chadete, ubetray ve'ksher. That means that a new churve, so there's no reason of mapoiles. And also we're talking about that the two people are ksherim, so there's no chashad, and afilu they shouldn't go in. Why? Because the mazikim. 1 second, there's two over here. If there's two people, there's no mazikim. So why are we not allowed to go in? And for the Gemara, that means, and the place where the mazikim are always there. This is the place where they're living. So the place where they're living in Ochaname, the mazikim, they are strong enough, even to come into to harm two people when they come together, even the two people. Is a easy bechad. Even it's talking about with one person that he cannot go. It's talking about bechur vechadete. The koi bedabre. That means this is a new churve, but this is in the dabre. Dabre means always in the fields, in the sodden, because it's in the fields. In Ochaname, so mishum chashad leke, because no one goes over there in the fields. There are isha bedabre lo yishchiche. She's not going to go to the fields. Mishum mazikin ike, because he's one person. So there is over there chashad that the mazikim are going to harm him. Says the Gemara, Tonu Rabbanon. Let's go to this machlokes that we mentioned before of Arba Mishmor Sava Alaylo, and every Mishmor is from 3 hours. Divrei Rebbe. We mentioned in Omid Aleph, there's machlokes of how many Mishmor Sava Alaylo. So now we see the machlokes. So Rebbe says there's 3 hours every Mishmor. Divide 12 into 3, 4 Mishmores. Rav Nosson Noimer Shalosh. There's only 3 Mishmores in the night. Each one is 4 hours. Says the Gemara. My time in the Rav Nosson. What's the reason of Rav Nosson? Says the Gemara, Dichsiv. Over there is talking about in Sefer Shoiftim, there was one of the Shoiftim was called Gidon ben Yoyosh. And over there it says when Gidon ben Yoyosh is going and he's fighting with who? With the Midianites, with the Midyanim. It says over there when he goes to attack the Midyanim, it says over there the Loshen. Vayovoi Gidon umeyo ish asher itoi. These 100 people that didn't bow down to the Avodah Zorah, and he tested them when they came and told them to drink from the water. So he comes in over there, and the 100 people with him, what they do over there, Vayovoi Gidon, Umeya Anoshim, Asher Ito Biktzei HaMachane, Roish HaShmos HaTichoino. Roish HaShmos HaTichoino. Tichoino always means the middle one. Middle we only have when we have one from each side, so we have 3. So then we have a middle one. Tane. Ein Tichoino Elo, Yesh Lefoneo Uleachareo. No, so in the Choname we have to have 3. My Tichoino. Says the Gemara, so what are we going to understand Tichoino? No, says the Gemara, no, we could have also 4. Just what is a Tichoino? Tichoino means, Ha-Tichoino, that means Achas min ha-Tichoino, but Tichoino is, no, we can have 2 middle ones. two middle ones. So we have 4 mishmoros and 2 middle ones. Rab Nosson. What Rabbi Nosson is going to answer this tchiyah what Rabbi told him. Says the Gemara, Miksiv tichoino sheba tichoinos. How it says in the pasuk? Rosh Hashmo hatichoino. Doesn't say tichoino sheba tichoinos. So the mashmos is that what there is over there only one tichoino ksiv. In the Chonah tichoino. So my time in the Rebbe. How could Rebbe understand this for? The choyev in the pasuk in Shoftim from Gidon is mashma there's only 3. Says the Gemara, Mavzrika or Marabami was forced Rebbe to say that there is 4 mishmaros is based on a pasuk in Tehillim. Omar Bishop ben Levi. Kosu ve'echad oimer. And it says over there that David HaMelech says, Chatzois lailo okum leoides lechon mishpetei tzidkecha. David HaMelech would wake up every night at Chatzois halaylo. Why Chatzois halaylo? So the Medrash tells us, what happened to Chatzois halaylo? Chatzois halaylo, the grandmother of David HaMelech, Rus. She came to Boyaz. And when she comes to him, Alagoyren, what exactly was doing over there? A person of 400 years old lying on hay, he needs a comfortable bed. He's got ladol. He could allow himself a comfortable mattress. He's lying on the hay. Where? Elomai, because and he was scared that what? That people will come and steal from the grain a little bit. Or people will come and use over there the barn, or wherever it was over there, he was lying in the field, or use it for znus. So he was lying there. It comes to him over there, a woman. The first thing he should do, he should curse and Gal Shalatzomo is out of the mouth of Boyaz. Just what? HaKadosh Baruch Hu came and stopped him. And what? He says, Brachot Lashem. Killed, right? He comes and he blesses her. So when that happened in Chatzois Halaylo. David HaMelech is getting up every Chatzois Halaylo to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What happened a few generations ago, that you didn't come and allow Boyaz to come and just curse my grandmother Rus. That's like Chatzois Halaylo, every Chatzois Halaylo, Okum leoidois lecho al mishpetei tzidkecha. So you would get up when Chatzois Halaylo. Chatzois Halaylo is 6 hours into the night, right? As we divide the day into 12, and the night also into 12. So Chatzois is exactly in half. It's 6 hours. Zog the Gemara. Because of about David HaMelech, Kidmu einai ashmoirois l'siach beibosechel. That's the pasuk over there. So what we see over there, that he got up 2 mishmoros before. Ashmoirois. Ashmoirois is a plural, right? It's not a singular. So ashmoirois, 2 ashmoirois. Okay, so how could it be that what Chatzois Laila is still going to have 2 ashmoiros in front of him? Must be Arba Mishmoros Hava Alaylo. And very good. Arba Mishmoros, 2 before Chatzois, 2 after Chatzois. Very good. Says the Gemara, Rab Nosson, what he's going to answer. It's a beautiful raya for Rabbi. Rab Nosson, what's going to answer on it? Says the Gemara, Sova Loke Rabbi Yeshua Detnan. Rabbi Yeshua says this is later on in the Mishnah in Daf Tesam with base. Rabbi Yeshua Yimer, Ad Sholo Ishois, that means till the first 3 hours of the day. Shekein, then is the time you could read Krishma Shel Shachris. That's what he's talking about over there, Krishma Shel Shachris. You can read till up to 3 hours in the day. Why? Shekein Derech Melochim, to come and to stand and to get up and to read in Choname Besholo Ishois at the beginning of the thing. The same thing, David HaMelech says, Kitmu Einai Hashmoirois. What's Hashmoirois? Before the rest of the kings. The rest of the kings, they get up when? 3 hours into the day. I get up, in Choname, 2 mishmoros beforehand. 1 mishmor in the night, and 1 mishmor, the mishmor of the day already. And that's why he comes and says of there, Ashmoirois, a plural, that he's getting up 2 Ashmoirois beforehand. She's the Leile, another 6 hours from Chatzois Halayla till the morning. Vetarte the Yamama, another 2 hours into the day, because they get up only B'shor Shlishis, right? So 2 hours into the day. Havuleu, how much is all together? 8 hours. 8 hours is Shetei Mishmoris. Each one is 4 hours, right? We said that this... We said 3 hours is 3 mishmoros in the night. 12 hours in the night, divide 12 into 4 is, into 3, sorry, 4 hours. So that's what he says. 4 hours is a mishmor. How much is 2 mishmoros? How many hours? 8. How many hours before the rest of the kings of the world gets up David HaMelech? 8 hours. That's Kidwain, Ashmoiros, 2 Ashmoiros. 8 hours, I got up before the rest of the kings of the world. And that's what 8 hours, 2 hours of the day, another 6 hours of night. Shtei Mishmoros. Rav Ashi Omar to come to find for the Pasuk according to Rab Nosson, that in Ochoname in a different way. Chatzois till Alois HaShachar, we have 6 hours. But in Ochoname they also called Ashmoiros. Why? Because it's a Mishmor. Upal Genam Mishmoros Korolu. Right? It's also 1.5 mishmoros. We also call it sometimes is 2 different mishmoros. Another halacha, ve'omar Rav Zrika, says the Gemara, ve'omar Rav Zrika, omar Rav Ami, omar Rav Yeshua ben Levi. Ein oimri b'fnei hames, elo devorov shel mes. Things that we need to cover the mes. You don't just start now in front of the mes to speak about different things, because he could do everything. And that's why only devorov shel mes. Omar Rav Avi Barakane, lo yamaron, elo b'divrei Torah. This Easter is only on divrei Torah, that the Nochoname, not from the tzorchei hames. Why? Because everyone has to come and be oisei b'divrei Torah. And the mes cannot speak in Torah, and that's why it's loye lo rosh, and that's why don't speak in divrei Torah. In divrei Torah don't speak. Says the Gemara. That's why it comes in over here, because ve'omar not halacha from Zrik Omar Avami. Avol mile de'alme says the Gemara leslon bo. There's no problem to come into. There's no bizarre into the mess. It's time to talk mile de'alme. Says the Gemara ve'ike de'amre Omar Abba Barakane lo yamoron, that you can't talk in front of the mess elo. Even in divrei Torah, culture can be ledalia, for sure you can't speak in front of the mess. The Gemara goes back now to be done about Chatzois Laila, what David HaMelech says. Chatzois Laila okum lo yidosh lecho. Fay the Gemara. David v'palged de'leile ave kohen. That means David HaMelech in the middle of the night he would come and get up from his sleep. Me'ur te'ave kohen. From the beginning of the night he was awake. Where do we see it? D'chsiv kidmani baneshe v'ashaveyo. What means ashaveya? Ashaveya means I will daven already kidmani in the beginning of the neshef. Neshef is night. The Gemara is going to come and prove that neshef is night. Where do we know that neshef is night? So beginning kidmani in the beginning of the night I will already daven. D'chsiv baneshef be'erev yoyim be'ishay loylo ve'afelo. The neshef that is, yeah, that's a pshat in the pasuk of Mishnah. Baneshef, when is the neshef? That is ba'erev. That in Nochoname, so the neshef is in Nochoname be'erev yoyim. So the neshef is an erev yoyim, that means at the beginning of the night. And for the Gemara, when David HaMelech says, Chatzois Laila okum, what's up shah, Zokter Azei. Oche komar, me'oilom lo yovar olai Chatzois Laila b'sheino. Why? Because beforehand already I was up. It doesn't mean okum, I got up at Chatzois. In Chatzois I was already awake. Rab Zeira Omar, Ad Chatzois oyom misnamnem kasus. That means like kasus, like a horse that he never sleeps more than in Nochoname, a deep sleep. Doesn't sleep very deep. As Rashi says in Nochoname, that what means in Nochoname kasus. He says that the very, very, very light sleeper. He doesn't sleep, he's a light sleeper. And then, she'eino nirdam le'oilom, kasus hazeh she'eino nirdam le'oilom, elo misnamnem v'nei otomit. He's a very, very light sleeper. Very light sleep, the same thing in Nochoname, what daven over there. The Gemara in Sukkah, Daf Chavov and Beis, the Gemara says that the Sheina Hasus is Shitin Nishmin. Shitin Nishmin, that's the Gemara in Sukkah, Daf Chavov. In Nochoname, would sleep like this is not more than 60, sorry? 59.
9, not 60. One less.
One less, okay. Well, it says Shitin, no? So it means one less than 60. Like Arboim Yekeno, one less. Huh? You wouldn't come to Sheina Hasus. 59.
59 what?
Minutes.
Rest.
Yeah. Says the Gemara. Okay. Mikan ve'elach, from that time in Nochoname, from Chatzois, or Yom Yisgaber Kari, Nochoname would come and learn Torah, and he would say Chatzois Laila Okum Loides. Ravashi Yomar, a different teretz, David HaMelech in Nochoname would get up in the beginning of the night. Just Ad Chatzois Laila Oyo Osuk B'divrei Torah. Mikan ve'elach, B'shirois V'tishbochis. That's why Chatzois Laila Okum Lehoidois Lecho. Till now it was not a Hoidoy. Till now I was just learning Torah. From now Chatzois Laila Okum Lehoidois. Now I would come and say Shirois V'tishbochis. V'edim Ove Nefesh Urteu. Nefesh, we're saying it's the night, and that's why we say Kidmani Banefesh. That he says that when I got up early in the morning, the Neshef is the morning. Where do we see it? D'chsiv. It says the pasuk in Shmuel, Vayakem David me from when me HaNeshef v'ad ha'erev lemachosam. So in Nochoname we see that word that David HaMelech hit them from when me HaNeshef from the morning till the next morning. Says the Gemara, Mailav mitzafri v'ad leile. That means me'aneshev ad ha'erev. That means from the morning till the next evening. Says the Gemara, no. Me'urte v'adurte, from one evening to the next evening. Yoche lichtoi me'aneshev ad ha'nefesh. If neshef is evening, say you hit them from one evening to the next. Or me'erev ad ha'erev. Says the Gemara, Elo Omar Ove. What is neshef? Neshef means in Nochoname he jumped. V'trei, in Nochoname neshef doesn't mean in Nochoname over here that what he came and he was going to sleep. Okay, we're going to leave over here this for tomorrow.